Subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get the latest updates.
Welcome back to World 360. Squid Game, the highly talked about Korean Netflix drama, has reached the #1 spot in 90 countries in just 10 days of its release. The show, which tells the story of cash-strapped contestants participating in a deadly game for a cash prize, is on its way to becoming Netflix's most popular non-English series. The Netflix original series is reflective of the streaming platform's investment in the local industry in Korea in recent years. From 2015 to 2020, Netflix has invested around $700 million in Korean content. The show's global reception has gone beyond just reviews. It has generated discussions about morality and capitalism and even spurred interest in learning the Korean language. Reuters recently reported that language learning app Duolingo reported a 76% rise in new users signing up to learn Korean in Britain and 40% in the US over the 2 weeks following the show's premiere. The show's global success is inviting a broader discussion about the Korean wave, or hallyu, and as an extension, what this means for Korea's soft power. In fact, if you go to Netflix's website about its Korean content, it states, "We also know that Netflix has been able to be a platform for the spread of the new hallyu culture through shows like Kingdom, Vincenzo, and even the recently premiered Squid Game. These have all led to increased sales and employment in linked industries in line with the globalization of the Korean wave." Now, there are many aspects that have constituted this Korean wave. There's the rise of Korean music or K-pop, specifically girl group Blackpink and 7-member boy band BTS, which, by the way, addressed the United Nations General Assembly recently. There are even K-pop fans in North Korea, where a person caught accessing or smuggling foreign media can end up at a re-education camp or even given a public execution. Though if we are talking about K-pop, we have to start in the 1950s when singing trio Kim's sisters rose to fame. They appeared 22 times on American TV show The Ed Sullivan Show and were referred to as cultural ambassadors and America's original K-pop stars. Let's also not forget the hit song Gangnam Style that went viral in 2012. Written by South Korean pop artist Psy, the song refers to a lifestyle associated with the Gangnam district of Seoul. Then there's Korean cinema or K-dramas. In fact, Bollywood has drawn a lot of inspiration from K-dramas, given that audiences of both industries enjoy themes of romance and melodrama. Aishwarya Rai Bachchan starrer Jazba in 2014, which was a remake of 2007 South Korean film 7 Days, and Salman Khan starrer Bharat, which was a remake of the 2014 Korean film Ode to My Father, are just one of several examples. Let's not forget Oscar-winning film Parasite that rose to prominence last year, and the scores of Korean films adapted into Hollywood films like Oldboy in 2003 and Train to Busan in 2016. Korea's gaming industry has also taken off, so much so that the popular first-person shooter game Crossfire has been adapted into a Chinese drama series. Even K-beauty, referring to the country's cosmetics, beauty, and personal care industry, is growing worldwide. And if that's not enough, the Oxford Dictionary just added 26 new words of Korean origin in its latest edition, one of which is hallyu. So was the Korean wave deliberate or was it a random phenomenon? It seems like it was a mixture of the two. Soft power is a term coined by American political scientist Joseph Nye in the 1990s and refers to a country's ability to achieve goals through attraction and persuasion through cultural influence or its image. Countries invest in cultural councils and cultural exchanges partly to strengthen their diplomatic aims. South Korea is no exception. After the Asian financial crisis in the 1990s, South Korea's government began to view cultural exports as an economic initiative and a source of foreign revenue to help the country's economic survival. The government encouraged corporate investment and removed barriers like screen quotas for foreign content so that the entertainment industry could thrive. In 1998, President Kim Dae-jung introduced the Basic Law for Cultural Industry Promotion and allocated $148.5 million to this. In 2000, a 50-year ban on the exchange of popular culture between Korea and Japan was partly lifted, which improved the surge of Korean popular culture in Japan. In fact, the 1988 Summer Olympic Games in Seoul is often mentioned as the start of South Korea's successful soft power push. A Carnegie report, however, makes an important point about the government's early role in Korea's soft power push. It states, "At times, this government support has been misinterpreted as the South Korean government supposedly creating the wave of popularity that South Korean pop culture has garnered, as it has gained prominence all over the world. But it would be more accurate to say that Seoul created an environment in which the movie, television, and music industries were able to thrive." That said, there's no doubt that South Korea's soft power potential is tremendous. Just last year, it was reported that hallyu-related exports came to $12.3 billion in 2019, up 22.4% from 2018. Now, this is a good lesson for other countries too. Tulsi Jaykumar, professor of economics at Bhavan's S.P. Jain Institute of Management and Research, wrote an interesting op-ed in Mint a few months ago, where she argued that India could take a leaf out of South Korea's cultural industry as a model of gaining soft power and thereby achieving development. She points out that though Bollywood is the world's largest film industry by number of feature films produced, India has been continually running a deficit in its personal, cultural, and recreational service exports, with the gap in 2019 to 2020 being a negative $924 million. That's the end of today's episode. Hope you enjoyed it. For ThePrint, this is Pia Krishnankutty. We'll be back soon with a brand new episode.